So for the keen-eyed among you, you may have noticed I am not, for once, in fact for the first time in like 10 years or whatever, I'm not actually in my studio. And that's because I'm currently in Scotland actually.
7 miles, continue straight on.
Said my little friend there. Yeah, I'm currently in Scotland, and I've been on a little road trip. Well, I'll tell a lie actually, I'm on a road trip now. But this morning I was just on a little flight. So I may have done a silly thing, I don't know. I mean, I'm hoping I haven't. But I just bought 300 Remo drum heads. Oh dear, yeah, this, I mean, it shouldn't be that hard for me to shift a lot of them. So I saw on eBay, someone advertising about 150 heads, and I thought, yeah, there's a thought, you know, because no one really bid on them at that point. They were on 99p for like right up until literally the last few seconds of the auction, and I was like, you know what? It involves like an 800-mile round trip, which I'm going to have to do in one day. So if I was to do this, what's logistically the best way to do it? And I kind of figured that it would be fly up to Edinburgh from London, hire a car, and then basically drive back. So that is what I'm doing. So, but yeah, I sat down. I saw these heads coming up, and I went through and I did my best to sort of work out what was available and on offer, and I wrote it all down, and I tried to get the best numbers that I could, and it kind of seemed like it was probably worth the effort. And so, as I said, I mean, right up until the last few seconds, the bidding was at 99p, and then basically, I think I was sitting in my car? I can't remember. I was sitting somewhere watching it go up, and no, actually, I was at work. That's what it was. I was at work, and I saw it shoot up, and then suddenly it shot up to 360, and I won. And I thought, well, you know what, for what's on offer here, if I put a bid in for 500 quid, then if someone wants it more, then that's fine. I mean, the buy it now was originally 700, and I thought even then it's still got to be good value, because there was visibly way more money involved than just the £700. So, but I thought, you know, I'll put 500 quid in, and if I get 500 quid, or if I get it for 500 quid, I'll still be quids in. And subsequently, no one really bid on them, so I ended up getting them for 360 quid. Now, obviously, it's cost me more than that. But I always kind of fancied a bit of a road trip anyway. I've never really properly done a road trip, so you know, it's been so far it's been okay, other than the weather, the weather being a bit grim. You know, it's actually been great. The gentleman I bought them from was a very nice man, and then he subsequently offered me another 150. Well, I think it was actually 160 heads. So I've come away with just over 300 heads. All sorts of bits and pieces. Obviously, I'm driving, so I'm not going to start listing them off now. But yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, as most, well, I say most, many English, and I know I've said to some of my non-UK friends that, you know, English people will start bitching and moaning if they have to travel, you know, further than the end of the road, and I'm certainly no different to that for the most part. But you know, I know in Australia and North America, you know, it's not unheard of to drive 2 hours for a lunch date, whereas, you know, we're not really built that way. The English, I think, are fundamentally a lazy lot, or at least I am. So you know, I don't normally do this sort of thing, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. So I mean, I'll do some footage of what's. I mean, this car's literally stuffed full of drum heads. I mean, I mentioned to a mate of mine about coming up with me, and I was a little disappointed originally that the scheduling didn't work out and he couldn't make it. But looking at it now, because literally everywhere is full. I've got a couple of. There's a bunch of heads in boxes, but basically the seat and the boot are full, and I've got a box full of heads on the passenger seat next to me. So it's been quite entertaining in that regard, because like I mean, I'm not in my car. As I said, I've hired a car. So you know, hats off to Ford. If you ever want to transfer 300 drum heads between two places, the Ford Cougar does actually work well for that. It seems, yeah. Thankfully, I got to Edinburgh Airport, and the fella said to me that they've slightly upgraded me to a slightly bigger vehicle than the one I'd ordered, because they didn't have that particular one in stock, which may or may not have been highly beneficial for this. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna sell some of these things, because I seem to remember counting there was something like 34 12-inch black suede Ambassadors, and whilst I am quite intrigued to set a full kit up with black suede Ambassadors again, because I haven't done that for a few years, I'm pretty sure I don't need 34 of them, so I'm gonna sell a couple on. But the funny thing was, so I mean, the day started sort of kind of early, which was fine. I wanted to get up here as soon as I possibly could, and I got up here, got to Heathrow Airport. I'm standing in line. I'm standing in line at to board, and next thing I know is I hear someone shouting my name. Turned out someone I knew, who was also a drummer, and well, you know who you are. Hello again, mate. Yeah, I'm standing there waiting to board the plane, and out of all the thousands of people that are in Heathrow Airport at that particular moment, there hands me someone whom I know, who is also another drummer. So yeah, I'll quickly explain what I was doing today, and you know, I was in a bit of a rush to get on the plane, so sorry I couldn't talk any longer, mate. But you know, that was it's just a very small world, you know. Yeah, so I've got a little bit behind with doing some updates and things, as I'd hoped, but I've got some more time over the coming months to catch up with that. So I'm gonna try and fix that as soon as I can. Yeah, I just kind of thought this would be a bit of fun, because it's not something I've done before. It's certainly not something I do every day, or would do every day, and yeah, it's it may or may not have been the most smart move I've made recently, but thankfully my wife and daughter are away for the next couple of months, which is why I'm going to have some time. So I've got a couple of months to figure out where I'm going to put these heads, because I have not got a clue as to where they're going to go. So well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon.